Coach, we'll get started with you. You returned 18 combined starters for a second consecutive season, and during that stretch, the Tartans have a 15-7 record with 2 appearances in the ECAC's Legacy Bowl. What must this year's team do to be able to keep that success going?
Well, the past is great. We're always looking to the future, obviously. I think that it has a lot to do with chemistry. It has a lot to do with a bunch of unselfish players where the team is much more important than any stat. And you've quoted a bunch of stats today, and stats are nice. The only stat I think that 10 coaches in this room care about is that win column stat. Hopefully we come together as a team. We've had some great kids graduate last year and over the last 2 years, actually. And it's time for some of those younger guys to step up. We had the 3 regular season losses last year were close losses. We had 2 in overtime. 1 was overtime, 1 was double overtime, and 1 was by 4 points. So one of the young men mentioned earlier used the word finish. We have to finish those games.
You talked about stats. I'm about to hit you with a bunch of them right now.
I'll bet you are.
Over the last 2 seasons, All-American Sam Benger has compiled unbelievable stats, rushing for 3,763 yards, 48 touchdowns, carrying the ball 1,619 times. Heading into the season, Sam's been named preseason most valuable player by Lindy's and to Street and Smith's preseason All-America team. You talk a little bit about how special of a player Sam is, as well as how you see the Tartans' rushing attack faring after the graduation of 3 pretty key offensive linemen.
Yeah, with Sam, it's all coaching. Sam came to us as an incredibly talented young man, physically, and then you take what he brings to the table physically and add his competitiveness, his attitude, his leadership, and we all have talked about leadership today, his commitment. Sam really doesn't care about stats. He doesn't care about carries or yards or anything like that. All that stuff comes with competing and attempting to win a football game. And that's all he cares about. And he is a dedicated student. He's about a 3.6 in our business program. And in addition to being a 2-time All-American, he's a 2-time academic All-American, which frankly, for me, I'm more proud about. The fact that he does it in the classroom, he does it on the football field, and he's a great representative and the face of our program. And so he's just a wonderful young man that we're very blessed to have in our program. And we expect big things from Sam. He expects those types of things from himself.
Besides Sam, the Tartans have a great threat in the passing game with the student athlete you have sitting next to you and senior wideout John Prather. Last season, John set 2 program single-season receiving records with 1,125 yards and 66 receptions. John's going into his senior year needing just 111 yards and 17 catches to become the all-time program leader in each. How valuable is John to your offense?
He's very valuable because, the coaches in this room know when they line up against Carnegie Mellon that Sam is a real threat. That's obvious. You have to have a passing game to go along with that. You have to have some balance in your offense. And the fact that we have a fine quarterback and we have a fine set of receivers, none better than Johnny right here. Runs great routes, understands the game, has great adjustments to his routes. Again, a very unselfish young man. It's all about winning, but he is critical to our success offensively when you have that balance with Sam in the running game, Johnny in the passing game. Now you have a chance to keep defenses on their heels a little bit.
Coach, last question. Defensively, Carnegie Mellon loses their entire defensive line, including Brian Corey, who ended his career as the school's all-time sacks leader, with 29.5 sacks. Brian was a two-time All-PAC first-team selection, Cliff Harris Award finalist. However, you get back 2015 All-American senior defensive back Drew Fitzmaurice. Drew missed all last year with an injury. Can you talk a little bit about what we can expect to see from the Tartan defense this season? In what positions you expect to have the most competition for playing time going into camp?
Well, I think we're very solid at the linebacker position. We returned 4 starting linebackers, both inside, both outside, and they're multiple-year starters. So we're very blessed at the linebacker position. Drew, we lost him in camp last year. A great football player, wonderful young man, leader in the secondary, and so he was a big loss last year to our defensive unit and especially our secondary. But he'll be back 100% this year. We're looking for a big year from Drew. We return a lot of other guys in the secondary that have had a lot of experience. The big question mark is the D-line. We graduate both defensive ends and our nose tackle. And so there's going to be a lot of competition there on the D-line. We've got some young guys coming up. We have some good freshmen coming in. We'll see who wins the job. They've got to earn it. So jobs are open.
Coach, thanks. John, let's move on to you. What was the feeling of your team following last season? What's the team's level of focus, attitude, and excitement heading into the 2017 campaign after you guys competed in 2 straight ECAC Legacy Bowls?
After a successful season last year in the ECAC Bowl berth, we were left with a little bitter taste in our mouth after that loss, and noticing that all of our regular season losses came by less than a touchdown. The team captains and leaders and all the coaches, we took it upon ourselves to really push each and every player on the team this offseason to, like the player from Waynesburg said, to finish. Make sure that we finish every play, every rep, and everything during the spring ball and spring lifting. And I can say that this last spring was the best that we've had in my past 3 years here. And just like using that to propel us into the summer and take it into the season, we're looking to definitely take the next step as a program, which means competing for a PAC title and NCAA playoff berth.
Last season, the Tartans had a quarterback change mid-season following an injury to Brian Jangro. What adjustments were needed to be made when Alex Klein stepped in as your signal caller?
First, I just want to give credit to Brian Jangro, his determination and will as a player on our team to help out during practice and everything, and as a assistant coach after his injury is really indicative of his character and is one of the reasons why he was named captain on our team this year. As for Klein, he really stepped up. Ever since his first day on campus, we always knew that he had the potential and the skill to really lead this team and be a starting quarterback. And all he needed was an opportunity, and unfortunately his opportunity came with the injury to Brian, but he really stepped up. Both of them play very similar quarterbacking styles, so there wasn't much of an adjustment that needed to be made. Klein had a very great offseason this spring, and he really rolled it into the summer, and we're definitely expecting big things from Klein this year.
You've played in all 32 games of your career, including 27 starts. In that time, you've recorded at least 1 reception in 25 straight games and in 30 games total over the last 3 seasons. What do you think has been the key to your durability? I
think the key to my durability stems from my work ethic and passion for the game of football. I learned in high school what it meant to work hard in the off season, with having 4 high school teammates that are currently in NFL, being able to work out with a couple NFL guys this past summer. Really got to see firsthand what it takes to be an elite athlete and to be able to be durable during the season and to be able to play a full season. Just incorporating the tips that they gave me during the off season, trying to use that in training and in working out, I think has definitely been a help the past 3 years. Also, seeing guys like Jangro and Fitz end their seasons to season-ending injuries has really just made me more aware of having passion for the game of football and coming out each and every day and playing it like it's your last. Because seeing guys like that who can't always compete day in, day out in practice really pushes you to come out and enjoy every day with your friends and be able to come out, play the game of football that you love with everyone that you like to play with.
John, last question for you. We mentioned a little bit talking with Coach, your name is already written in the record books at Carnegie Mellon for single season marks. This is a little bit of an individual thing, so you might have to answer it. How does it feel to be only 17 catches and 111 yards away from becoming the school's all-time leader in both of those categories?
It's definitely a blessing. Definitely a blessing to be able to have set records at Carnegie Mellon. I'm very proud of what I've done. I just want to thank Coach Lackner, Coach Simmons, and all the other coaches for giving me an opportunity to play college football and putting me in the positions to be able to make plays on the field. These records have been records that I've seen since my first day coming in. Have always been my goal to just be the best receiver and best player to come through Carnegie Mellon. I just try each and every day to work hard and try to achieve those goals I've set for myself and that the team has set for me. I also just have to give credit to the whole offense. Without the quarterback, offensive line, running back to other wide receivers, none of this would be possible. With everyone working together and in sync, and it just makes everything go by much easier. Just listening to your coaches, taking the coaching that they give you, and doing everything I can each and every play to just make plays and help the team win is all that I can do on the field.
John, Coach, thank you guys. Carnegie Mellon will open its season on September 2nd at Washington University in St. Louis.